Yeah, we're here at the Keep It True Festival 2030, and yesterday there was a band playing called Eliminator. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm another Dave.
I'm Matt.
Double Dave.
Yeah, double Dave.
I'm Matt.
My name is Jack.
Jamie.
Yeah, for a band from the USA, you speak really British. No, just joking. So please let us know, where do you come from? How did you get to Keep It True Festival?
Well,
We come from Lancaster. Lancaster in the UK is just north of Manchester. How did we get to Keep It True Festival?
Plane. We took a plane.
Yeah.
You can't remember.
You have your own plane?
Drunk at the time. No, I don't know. How did we end? How?
I can't remember. How the fuck did we?
Ollie put on
Ollie is Weinheimer? Is that how you say it?
Oliver Weinsheimer.
Weinsheimer.
Like wine.
Yeah, I like wine. Yeah, he has a label, Death Rider Records, and he pressed a 7-inch for us, which we did last year, and so I guess that's how he became aware of us through doing that. So he invited us to come and play, which we appreciate enormously.
So you enjoyed yourself on stage?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was really good fun. Really loud, which is good.
Yeah, really fucking loud, actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to have room to move around, especially when I don't move around very much.
So the 7-inch single, is this the only release so far, or is there any
No,
more?
there's an EP. We did an EP 2011.
Yeah.
Which is out on vinyl and cassette and CD and all sorts of other stuff.
Also on vinyl.
Yeah, we got it on vinyl.
Heavy Forces. Stefan, what's his name?
I don't know what his surname is.
It's called Steph Heavy Forces.
Steph Heavy Forces, yeah.
So what's his name?
Heavy Forces Records, they did the EP on vinyl first, but previously it was released on CD by a Portuguese label called A Forger.
Yeah.
So
you can't afford it.
No,
No,
if you can't afford it.
We haven't pressed anything by ourselves yet.
Yeah.
So we're still poor. I mean, you know.
You don't look so poor.
can you make us rich?
You have to deal with Jägermeister every year.
Yep.
So are there any plans for a full-length album?
Hopefully, yeah, we've got a few more songs to write, but after that, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have something. Maybe not out, but certainly
With me on it.
finished. With Dave, with Dave singing.
New
So.
singer, so try and get something out with Dave on it.
So was the new wave of British heavy metal an influence for you?
No.
No.
The what?
No, you are from Great Britain.
Yes.
And there was some music back in the early 80s, late 70s. No, what were your influences when you started with the band? We will talk about your history a little later, I think.
All of it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Iron Maiden and Angel Witch, obviously, you're playing later. And we like Angel Witch and Judas Priest, Motorhead.
Fantastic.
Thin Lizzy. Blue Oyster Cult.
Lizzie.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course. Anything with twin leads.
Wishbone Ash?
Wishbone Ash, yeah. Especially Wishbone Ash. It's all about the twin leads. It's the best thing in the world. So
Yeah, that's true.
we need more bands that do that. And Keep It True seems to have a lot of bands.
And they're all here.
This was really cool here for the DVD, I think. So, we just noticed that we met some years ago at Dynamo Open Air because...
I remember you, and you don't remember me.
No.
We definitely met.
But you need to tell that story now, where you played before.
Many moons ago, obviously, I played in a band called Skyclad, and the festival that we met at was in 1992.
Yeah.
So that makes me about 28-year-old. Yeah, something like that.
I think I was 5.
Yeah. And then, so obviously I did a few albums with Skyclad, and basically that's it really. And years later, this local band that I think were really good, I was a big fan of, basically said, do you want to sing? And I did a few times. They used to sing between themselves, and then said, "Oh, would you get up and do a couple of songs?" So I did this for obviously a JD and Coke. You know, that was the deal. And so that was years ago. Then he had a couple of singers that didn't work out and asked me again. And I didn't really think I didn't know if it'd work out, but it has. It really has. Yeah. And I'm really happy. And I've put my guitar on the shelf, but I still play guitar. Yeah. But I'm quite happy to do this. This is like really good. Yeah.
So you know that this guy played with Brian Robertson from.
Yeah. He might have mentioned it.
Every now and again.
Did you ever thought about that Eliminator could make you to a ZZ Top tribute band? Because people.
Funny you should fucking say that. When we first started, we were doing some gigs in pubs. And we booked ourselves to do a show in a pub in Morecambe, which is a town near to us, and they actually billed us as a ZZ Top tribute band. There's a big poster saying "Eliminator ZZ Top covers tonight." Like, so, but what? So, yeah, that happened.
We don't play any ZZ Top.
You even don't know ZZ Top.
Yeah, who are they?
Okay, here's a little ZZ Top. Definitely here.
Yeah, maybe they saw the band and thought, you know, there must be a ZZ Top tribute band with those beards.
Okay, our camera guys really make everything exploding here. What I wanted to know, you play really an old school sound. What do you think about nowadays technology like Pro Tools or trigger drums or stuff like that?
I'm not into that personally.
No, not so keen to be honest. I think you can hear in our EP that we did that we like to keep it as original as possible, and we were talking yesterday about people trying to learn our songs, and they were learning mistakes that we know are in the songs as well. But
Japanese music students learning every little.
Yeah, it's too polished. It's far too polished. Yeah. It's better to be live, isn't it? And feel what the drummer feels, and you go up and down with the drummer, don't you?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. And we all follow the drummer, don't we? Yeah. So if it's like bang, 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 what are we following? We're following. We might as well just have a metronome. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Really. Yeah. So it's more.
Metronomes can't grow with beards. So.
No, metronomes don't have beards like this, do they?
Did you grow up with any live recordings you like?
Live recording, like. I have played live, Rainbow Live, like just over and over and over and over.
You ever heard the Status Quo from the 70s?
Yeah, Status Quo. I haven't heard the live album. I'm not a massive Status Quo fan.
But this will.
You reckon it's you reckon that will turn me? I hear that and then I'll be a fan for life.
Yeah.
No, live albums are great. Obviously, like Maiden, Live After Death, Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous. I heard this stuff 1,000 times, and when I hear a band, I want it to sound live. So as you were talking about, sort of overproduction using computers and trigger drums and such, it seems kind of pointless when you hear the record of a band and then you go and see them live. You want to hear the same thing. So if the recorded album sounds live, sort of with the same energy as a live performance, that's what we're sort of aiming to achieve, and it needs the authenticity. We want it to sound like a band, not a bunch of fucking computers.
I'm happy to hear that.
The Thin Lizzy double album, I heard it was doctored. I don't know how true it is.
I don't want to believe that.
I don't know how true it is, but that is one of the first live albums I ever heard, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And then 20 years later, somebody said that was like in the press for being one of these albums has been doctored. So it made me think, is AC/DC live? Is this live? Is this live? Is it? So
there are bits in, if you won't believe you got it.
Like Unleashed the East, Unleashed in the Studio.
Yes.
So
that album has got a lot of overdubs, but who cares? It sounds fucking great.
Whoa! 2 guitar players sound like 4. That's amazing. We don't want it.
They must be hiding the rest of them backstage.
So, guys, I thank you for this interview. Is there anything you want to tell all the people worldwide?
Try and get to keep it true next time.
yeah, just
it's great fun.
keep it true.
Keep it true. Keep it true.
Keep it true.
I haven't got anything sensible to say, so... Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you for everyone and everyone's work, because this festival is really cool. So
it's a damn good festival.
Our album, when we do release this album, which will be amazing. It will be flawless. It will be flawless.
I say thank you because you're one of the few British people I really understand really good. So thanks for your accent. Yeah. No accent. It's unbelievable. So okay, thanks for
thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're still at the Keep It True Festival 2013, and we have a US metal legend here. Please introduce yourself.
Oh boy, that's a tough thing to say. I'm not a legend, but I do play guitar. My name is Jack Starr, and I have a band called Burning Star with Ned Maloney, Rhino, and Todd.
So, is it the first time in Europe with this new lineup for you?
Yes, sort of.
Yeah, first time with Rhino. Which we played shows when he was in other bands, but first time with Rhino, which we're very pleased with.
Just a second. Excuse me? Hello? Okay.
Thank you.
You can do that for us? Maybe they will do that for you when we do the interview later. Because it's a little too loud. No, that's no problem. I think this will help. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Excuse me. Could you? Okay, no problem. No, it was just a door. Okay, we go on now. Okay. So, yeah, you played in Virgin Steel years ago.
Yes.
You played in Manowar years ago, but you have found your own style with your band Burning Star over the years. And would you call your music straight US metal, or what is the name you would choose for that?
I think it's definitely American metal with a little bit of a European touch. Yeah. And it's it's the roots of power metal. Yeah. And just like Manowar was, and I think it's a little bit it's original. I don't think we sound like everyone. Do you think we sound like everyone? That
I think we sound pretty unique.
Pretty unique, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, and we're very lucky that we've got Rhino playing drums with us. And we when we were in Europe in 2008 and 2009, we were in the audience looking at Rhino. Yeah. And I remember me and Ned talking and saying, "Damn, that drummer is good." And Todd said, "Yeah, we need a drummer like that." So now it's it's an honor that we've got Rhino.
Yeah, we all live in the same town together. Me and Ned and Jack.
Which one?
We live in Melbourne, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I live in Palm Bay. Well, me and Ned live in Palm Bay.
So you will be freezing here
very
right
close
now.
to each other. Yeah. We're having a little bit of a hard time. We really are. But we were able to get together in our hometown and play some local shows and get together and perform together, and we've really had a good time. We're really like family, so we have a good time together, and we understand each other, and we come from the same backgrounds, same kind of families, so we all have the same kind of mindset. Yeah.
So when you started playing music at all, what were your early influences? Was it?
Well, for me, it was really the blues. I listened to a lot of B.B. King, Albert King, Johnny Winter, Rory Gallagher, all that stuff. And then, when I was in high school, the first Led Zeppelin album came out. And that was a very big turning point for me, because I was hearing the blues, but it was very explosive. It was, it was blues on steroids. I don't know if you know this expression, But and then that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that kind of music. So that was my influence. And then, of course, I listened to Ritchie Blackmore and Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Brian May, and I could just continue, for another hour. But I'm not going to.
Did the new wave of British heavy metal had an effect on you with bands from Great Britain like Iron Maiden or Saxon that came up back then?
For me, really big.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't even really think of an American band that, other than like Van Halen, something like that, or Aerosmith. But for me, when Iron Maiden came out with Number of the Beast, and you're talking about also Rainbow, those are really big influences for me. And when that started to roll in the early '80s, it just took over my life, you know. And Cozy Powell, and then with Ozzy Osbourne, with Tommy Aldridge, it's a really big influence for me.
So, you're on a German label right now. I just saw on this posters here. So I'm I know that the American heavy metal scene is different to the European scene. I think
there is no heavy metal scene.
No,
it doesn't exist.
You have Slipknot.
Yes, if you want to call that metal, I mean, those are the bands. These kind of bands that my son, like younger kids, younger generation, are into bands like Slipknot and Korn.
Yeah.
But they came out in the early '90s, right after the whole grunge scene, and it just didn't really. It wasn't really something that we gravitated towards as older guys, because it seemed to stray away from the real heart of true metal. It doesn't have that kind of heart and that kind of passion. I mean, there's an awful lot of aggression, and there's a lot of theater maybe involved, but it doesn't have that passion, that heart, I think, that classic metal has. So
I definitely agree with that. The thing is, I'm older than Rhino and Ned and Todd. I'm not going to say how much older, but I'm older.
You don't look like that.
And because I'm old, for me, Iron Maiden was a great band, of course, but it wasn't like an influence. I'm more influenced by the same people that Iron Maiden was influenced by.
Of course.
So it's a little bit different for me.
You were already making music and contributing by the time Iron Maiden came about.
Almost, yeah. I mean, Iron Maiden really, I think was 79, but we were 81, so we were a little bit behind Iron Maiden. But what I'm saying is, so for us, it's a little bit different. But I love Iron Maiden. I love European metal, and in fact, I was born in Europe. I was born in France.
Really?
So,
Where?
France.
Really, I didn't know that.
Oui, je suis français. No.
Jacques Star.
It's Jacques. You're right.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, it really is. But when I met Ned, in 1984, we instantly clicked. I was recording an album with Rhett Forrester, who was a fantastic singer, and I met Ned, and first thing he told me is, he liked the same kind of metal I liked, and I thought, that was great, and then we did Out of the Darkness and all that, and so here we are, 30 years later.
So you didn't say anything so far, so please tell us about yourself.
Well, like Jack said, we met in 1984 in upstate New York. He was making Out of the Darkness, and the producer, suggested I play on a couple songs, and so
Carl Kennedy was the producer.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The Rods,
And then just a little while after that, that's when Jack was still in Virgin Steel at the time, actually, and then he decided to part ways, and he called me up, so I moved down to Long Island with him.
Yep.
That's where we started. We actually did our little Phantom Lord and Devil Child experiments at that point in time, as well as putting the first Burning Star album together.
You're still friends with the Rods guys?
Yeah. I mean...
Sure, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Yeah,
it was years ago. But
Well, it's-
still a producer. That's why I
No. We respect what they do,
Yeah, we talked to Carl. I talked to Carl
Well,
maybe
Ned
maybe
is the
a year ago.
diplomat. Ned is... You have nothing bad to say about anyone. And I really don't either. I mean, Carl's a great drummer. We have a better drummer, Carl, but... but Carl is a great drummer.
Yeah.
It never ends. I'm not going to be able to get out the door.
We also have a really great singer named Todd Michael Hall. I even said your middle name, man.
Yeah, look at Jack and I met in 1984 also, but he doesn't really know it.
1984.
Yes, because in 1984, that's when I bought the Out of the Darkness cassette.
Oh,
And,
thank you, brother.
and it was exactly 20 years later that I got in the band. So it's kind of Jack was looking for a vocalist, and my brother said, "Man, if anybody can appreciate your style of singing, it's this guy." So,
and Joey DeMaio also
yeah.
had a hand
Yeah.
in it, because he organized the search.
Yeah.
So I sent in a.
And there were many people that we checked out actually.
Yeah.
And he rose to the top.
That was the wiener.
Okay.
But Joey, you know, it was really funny because we did listen to a lot of singers, and then Joey called us up, me and Ned, and he said, "I have found your singer."
Yeah.
And you know, with Joey, it's very difficult to say no. So yeah. So we said, "Okay, well, thank you. Can we hear him?" And then when we heard, you know, Todd, you know, we were very, very impressed, you know, with his vocals.
So Joey was right.
Yes, he was right. That's right. We have to admit, he was right.
So what can we expect tonight here at Keep It True Festival? Will you play a mix of new songs and old songs, or?
Yeah, pretty much spans the entire career.
Yeah. And the last two albums that Rhino, Todd, Ned, and myself did, which is Defiance, and this album. Let me be very shameless right now and plug me out. I'm being very shameless. But this, I think, is a really great album.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, you know, it feels kind of weird to say that, you know, this is a great album, but it really is. So if anybody really is watching this, you know, people that are watching, they should try to at least listen to it. A couple of songs, and then I think they will really like it.
Well, we have a video for Land of the Dead. They can always,
always
watch that.
We need that. You need to send it to us.
You can always
we are
watch
TV
it on,
station.
on YouTube.
Which label is it? Is it Limp?
Yes, it's on Limb, yeah.
Okay,
It's on
Limp, you are an idiot not sending me the video clip. Hello.
He has to do that.
Okay,
That's
he
right.
has to do that. I will contact
Because it's a great video, too.
Yeah.
The whole album is great, the video is great. The artwork is Ken Kelly, the guy that did one of my favorite albums of all time, Rainbow Rising.
He did that?
Yes.
What is the name of this guy?
Ken,
He did that? Oh my god.
and he also did Kiss Destroyer, and a couple of other great albums. Yeah, and Man of War. That's right, I forgot. Yeah. So we're happy with the artwork. We're happy with the production. Bart, who's just walked in, maybe you can show him, did an incredible job producing the album.
Yeah.
We also had Mariusz Pietka, who engineered the album.
Yeah.
And it was like one of these things where we were surprised by how perfect the album was. Yeah. And I think 20 years from now, 40 years from now, this album will keep going.
Yeah. When is the release date of it?
It was 11/11/11.
Believe it or not. 2 years ago.
2 years ago, 11/11/11.
I can't remember this artwork on it. Maybe it's because of the record, because
it's bigger.
Yeah. And there are some bonus tracks only for the wine.
Yes, we did a longer version of Sands of Time, and then there's another song called "The Spirit of '86," which is all about, you know, metal music. And
if it would be the Spirit of '69, I would think about something else.
Something else, yes, but we don't go there because we are. Because we're good guys. Yes, we are good guys.
This is what they tell all the time.
Yes. Don't let anybody fool you. We're the good guys. I know nobody believes me. That's okay.
Is there anything else you think the German spectators of our TV show need to know?
Well, honestly, it starts and ends with the music, and I think a lot of bands, you know, they portray all kinds of images and talk about all kinds of things, but the music isn't there. This album really is a masterpiece of metal, and it's crazy to say that, but I think it is. I think it's probably one of the top 10 metal albums of the year 2011 or 2012. Yeah. You know, yeah. And people tell me that all the time. So I would say, what I want to say to people watching is, listen to it. You know, I'm not going to say anything else. Like, you know, I'm not.
Well, that's the easiest thing. Give it a listen.
Just listen to. Yeah, decide for yourself exactly. Yeah. Because I'm not saying this about every album that I've ever done, because I think some of the albums that I've done were, some were, you know, okay.
Not my favorite.
Yeah, not my favorite. Some were okay. Some were great. And maybe this is the best one.
Okay. Is this from you?
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this here?
It's a guitar tuner.
Nobody knows what it is from the spectators. So it's a chromatic tuner. So you have to tell me what this is.
You step on it and it keeps the music from going through the PA, so you can and you can tune.
Yeah, you don't want your voice to go.
And sometimes if you hit a bad note, you hit this and it cancels the bad note. And it disappears.
And we have this on the table.
Yeah.
This
This is Ned's special anti-wrinkling
Yes,
technique.
we can't bring an iron from America, so we have to spray our wrinkles out.
These are your drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you for coming
Looking
down.
forward for your
Thank
show.
you.
And yeah, hopefully meet again. We are through at Keep. No, we are at the Keep It True Festival 2013. And when I talk about legends all the time, in this case we really have a legend here because it's legendary new wave British heavy metal band. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Pete Howarth, original member of Legend.
I'm Eggy Obe, the bass player.
I'm Mike Lazola, and I tried to sing.
Jack Pallow, and I'm the drummer.
Neil Howarth, I'm the rhythm guitarist.
Okay, my first question is, did you enjoy your show tonight?
Loved it.
Yeah. We loved it, and we noted that when we left the stage, there seemed to be as many people in the audience as when we started, so we thought we must have done all right.
And they all wanted more, which is good, you know? Yeah. There's nothing better than getting an encore, but because we'd used up our time allocation, we couldn't do it. Yeah. But they clearly wanted us to play more, and we could have done. I mean, we normally do like 2-hour sets when we play. But it was good. The sound was better on stage than I thought it would be. We had a few hiccups, a few issues. I think about 2/3 way through the set, the next band drummer was doing a sound check immediately behind our drummer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so we were hearing like two snares and 2 bass drums. And
oh, you played that fast.
But we just.
6 drums were kicking in.
But I think I think we nailed it. Everybody seemed to like it, And the interesting thing is that they responded to certain parts of the songs in a way that we weren't used to. It's like, yes, we are heavy, but there's a lot of light and shade and a lot of melody and and all that sort of thing. And then we just play something, and the crowd would just go ballistic, and it's like, you're not supposed to do that, But all in all, we're all really pleased with it, And
my first contact with you was when Monster Records from the USA released your 4 vinyls on CD for the first time, and my first impression was this is a missing link between 70s rock and heavy metal. Would you agree with that? Or?
Well, I think
we're just a missing link.
Yeah, I think it's the shape of our skulls.
You've all missed us out.
Well, I think a lot of the problem is because we've been associated with the new wave of British heavy metal, but we were playing heavy metal way before that.
Really?
I was playing heavy metal in 1974, 1975.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So my influences were, I think it's probably the same for Eggy, maybe even for Neil. I don't know. But my influences were Jimi Hendrix, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and then Rush, and then and Judas Priest, early Judas Priest, and a lot. Yeah, well, no, Sad Wings of Destiny. Yeah. But so it was a bit of a hybrid, But we just knew what we wanted to do, and we just did it. And a lot of people said, "Oh, they're a new wave of British heavy metal band," which is great. I mean, but we've never written. We don't write songs about denim and leather and motorbikes and things like that. We've always been quite sort of social, political, kind of emotional kind of band. We take the lyrics very seriously, the melodies very seriously. But when we kick ass, we kick ass.
And I think because we do that, we try to leave room for the vocals as well. So that quite often you'll find that as soon as the vocals kick in, the band comes down, and we have passages where the vocals are doing the verse, and then the band comes in with a kick-ass.
But it's important, you know. You write a song, and it's not just the drumming and the bass and the guitar and the rhythm guitar and the vocals. It's a whole. We're a band. So if Mike's going to sing lyrics that we think are quite important and quite profound, then people need to be able to hear what he's saying. You know, so that's just our philosophy, and that's what we've always done. And we're here 33 years later on.
But what really sounds unique to me on these old songs is all these stops you are doing. You like in what is the name of the song? I can't remember it right now. But
Death in the Nose Street.
Something like that. But choices, you know.
Choices, yeah.
What? Whose idea was this strange stuff? Were you influenced by King Crimson also?
I actually think it's just when we were crafting the songs.
Yeah.
You look. What you don't want is a song just to go on for 3 or 4 minutes and it just be the same all the way through. So you want the song to actually have quiet and loud, light and shade. You want to have different changes in rhythm. Anything that actually makes the song more interesting, you know, and things that and emotional.
I think it's the emotional side of it, you know. So you write a passage that actually, you know, the music complements the lyrics in a way that it really does give the sense of what the lyrics are all about. So the guitar work is always complementing the lyrical content, I think, and then and it tells a story, and you know, that's the way it's constructed, and it comes very naturally, you know, to a lot.
Red tonight, which is off the new album, The Dark Place. It starts off, you know, quiet, and really heavy, and then suddenly it just goes, and the crowd went, whoa! It's like Pink Floyd were on stage. You know what I mean? It was just like really, and then
not many bands are doing this anymore. That's the thing.
But yeah, I mean,
it's like. This is the craft of writing songs, I think, is that you need to put those things in. You need to put space in it. You need to put colour and space, and you know.
Well, you only have to listen to "Stairway to Heaven" by Led Zeppelin to know. You know what I mean? "Child in Time" by Deep Purple. I mean, so many bands have done it. But it's the dynamics. Yeah.
So, how did you record your albums back in the day? Because it sounds like you played live, maybe some overdubs here and there.
What, the first albums?
Yeah, they were on 8-track tape.
8 tracks?
Yeah, was it 16?
8-track was legend. And
the first one was
8
8-track.
But they weren't.
It was in a studio, and they had 8 tracks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the studio, so there was a lot of bouncing. You know, you had to bounce it down, and so it was quite raw. The first one, the second one was the production was a bit better.
The thing is, we didn't have much money, so we had to be really well rehearsed. Get in the studio and do it in a few days, and that's what we did. We'd been rehearsing and writing for about a year for the first album.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just went in, did it, and that's what we did. You know, the new album. What we've tried to do, because everything's digital now, what we tried to do with the new album is go into the studio and basically play it live, and then do.
With the drums and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And then, you know, any necessary overdubs or errors can be fixed, but that was just the same in the old analog tape days. But they used to do it with sellotape, you know.
And razor blades.
And razor blades. We'll cut that bit out of the tape, you know, cut that bit out and stick it back together. But yeah, with you know, it's not about our egos, it's all about the music.
You know, we don't have, this is 30 years on, we're just doing it because we love it. And that's the motivation.
It sounded like I expected it on stage. It was amazing tonight here. And you did a great job, by the way. I think you weren't in the original lineup, or?
No, I wasn't born then, but...
But how did you know about the band Legend?
We were at a party, weren't we?
Yeah, we're actually at Neil's, and because I work with Peter in Jersey, and he was sort of like, oh, because you're a musician, come down and have a jam, and you know, and that was just how it started, you know, just jamming covers really.
Let's tell the story properly.
Come up and play. What are you going to do? Oh, we're going to do what was it? Black Knight by Deep Purple. Yeah. And he goes, we all went, what the? So, you know...
So he was in.
You also did the middle part?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, since the early albums when Dave Whitley was the original drummer, Dave, brilliant drummer, absolutely was. Was a fantastic part of writing those early albums. And to be perfectly honest, you know, in Jersey we're a pretty small community out there, and talented drummers of the style we want and the feel we want and the passion we want are pretty hard to come by. There's loads of drummers, but just not right. And when Jack did the opening to Black Knight, me and Peter looked at each other and thought, you know, so.
Jack's not. I mean, he likes heavy rock and he likes metal, but his influences are like Frank Zappa and a whole host of other musicians. Yeah, Neil Peart. Yeah,
like it,
yeah. But I mean, it's like me. Hello. Yeah. I mean, my influences started off with Jimi Hendrix, then Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, a little bit of Led Zeppelin. Then I got into King Crimson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pink Floyd, and a whole host of other things, a bit of jazz and all that. So, but I also like lyricists. You know, I like the lyrics of the songs. And that's probably how the whole thing began to formulate. Mike came from a completely different background. You liked Roy Harper, didn't you?
Roy Harper's my all-time hero.
Which one?
Roy Harper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just you're fantastic. Blue Sky Thinking is Nick Harper as his son.
Yeah.
And Roy Harper was the original, because I'm a child of the 60s and 70s. So I was born in the 50s.
Oh,
so but I was formative music years was all to do with the Beatles and all that kind of stuff, that was going on then. And then this,
I would love to experience that.
Yeah, well, I'll swap with you, and then I can be a lot younger. So my influences were all of that kind of thing, and then as I became a bit more discerning and started growing, I started liking very much like Pink Floyd and all those prog rock stuff. I really enjoyed that, and then but my all-time favourite was Roy Harper, who was just a singer guitarist. But the thing is, he put so much emotion into songs, and so I think that's what I bring is melody and emotion and all that kind of stuff, and that's a contribution to the band.
And your vocals are unique, even to this day.
Yeah, I'm not good at screaming.
You don't need that. You have this special voice. You are like the Joe Cocker of heavy metal.
Yeah, absolutely. The wild card.
Just need to start waving your arms.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. But you didn't jump from the drum riser tonight.
No, because I wanted to survive the actual session.
Just to make everybody know that there was this picture on the CD release when you jumped off from the drum riser like this.
But in those days I wasn't 60, so to do. I could possibly do it now, but I might do it myself. So, but that's what I used to do then. I used to be quite athletic then.
So let's get round to Eggy, because he is the missing link.
The missing link.
He's turning into Santa Claus.
What?
You are as well.
Oh my God!
It's a meeting of Santa.
What I still don't understand is how were you able? You had with a huge drum set. You had several instruments. You had the vocals, the backing vocals. How were you able to record a record with 8 tracks? Please tell the young people how to do that.
Yeah, a lot of bounce down. So first of all, you'd get the drums on a few tracks, and then the bass.
And then you mix it.
Then you mix it down
to 2 tracks.
2 tracks. That's how we used to do it. Then when it went up to 16 tracks, it was a bit easier. So, but we still have to do the mix down. So that's it. It's carved in stone. The production on our first 2 albums was really bad, but people thought that's a unique sound. But it was rough. It was raw. The studio that we used all those years ago had never recorded a rock band ever.
Really?
It was all country and western and things like that.
It was and western.
Country and western.
It wasn't a brilliant studio, but it's all we could afford. It's all that was available as well, I think.
And were the releases on a real label, or was it your own label? I still don't know that.
It was the studio's label. Yeah. So we recorded it at Workshop Records Studio. They released it on the Workshop Records label.
Did you have a distribution back then?
Yeah, we had a distribution, and the record went worldwide, but we didn't know about it.
Okay.
It was only when
no
the
internet then. There's no feedback at all.
It was only when the internet came out that we realised people all over the world had been buying our records.
But you know about the prices for your original records right now? Or?
I don't know. Tell me. I've got one in my bag.
You have some at home? I think so. There was a re-release even, I think, from your first record on vinyl. Was it official? I think this.
Yeah, it's official re-release. With gatefold sleeve and the lyrics and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been signing loads of them today, which is great that the stuff's sort of preserved, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, but yeah, the original albums are still collectible. And that's got nothing to do with us, that's just the way it was, you know.
Yeah.
But our new album has just come out, that we just released, The Dark Place. You know, we've had pre-orders from all over the world. Malaysia and South Korea.
Not from the
Bolivia.
US. We've got a big fan base in the US and all over Europe.
Records, maybe the distributor.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's
Dennis, I think.
Dennis.
He's a big fan.
Dennis Bergeron.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh, I love
exploring all the good bands.
Yeah,
well, it's funny. He was the one that he went out of his way to make contact with me personally. I can't remember how, but it was he managed to find out. I think it was my phone number, and he just sort of said, "Hi, it's Dennis from Texas."
Yeah.
I went, "Hello, Dennis from Texas," and he said, "I want to release all your old stuff on the anthology." Yeah. And all I had was the big old 16-track master tapes.
You had that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I said, well, if we're
They
going
weren't in particularly good condition.
They were in bad condition, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So he said, look, if you ship them out to me in Texas, they have this technique where you bake them in an oven, and he baked them, and then we found.
And you eat them.
It was legendary food.
Yeah, so we baked them, and then I managed to find some old demo stuff on a cassette tape.
Really?
Yeah. So the anthology is the first two albums, the EP, and I think six
6 tracks we did.
Six,
yeah.
And Dennis, you know, we did put the artwork together, and we tried to get the artwork so it was a combination of all the different album covers in one. So it's got the Legend logo, it's got the Death in the Nursery, and it's got the eye, and all that sort of stuff. And he did a fantastic job on it. Yeah. And, you know, next minute...
Not really.
No.
They say, we do it for the love, you know. Yeah. When people offer us money, we say, no thanks, we're just doing it for the love.
But whatever happens, you are now here at Keep Crew Festival after all these years, and maybe this is the door opener for anything else, because you were so amazing tonight. It's unbelievable.
That's we appreciate that.
I was there nearly crying when you were playing.
Yeah, most people do.
Because it was so amazing. So,
thanks.
You are from Sky News, aren't you?
But wasn't it confusing for you back in the days when there were so many legends around, even in Great Britain?
Well, there was one from Kent in the south of England.
Hideaway and so
well, that was it. I think it was only Hideaway. I think a lot of bands in that time just released singles. We were one of the very first ones to actually do an album, then another album, you know, and then an EP. Whereas most of the other bands were doing singles. I think it was only us and Diamond Head at the time who actually did albums. Then after that came the likes of Angel Witch, who I think they were playing here later tonight, with their first album, which has got the mighty Baphomet on it, which is a great song, you know. Yeah. But I don't know. Because we were in this little island in between the UK and France.
It's only 9 miles by 5.
And then you found all the musicians for this band. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're the only people that live there.
Unbelievable.
But we had no idea, so we were just doing our own thing and just enjoying it. I'd been playing in clubs and bands since I was like 14 or 15, you know, but always wanted to write my own material. So, you know.
What was the biggest gig you played back in the days?
The biggest gig in Jersey was probably Sporting Thin Lizzy. In front of, I think there was about 2,500 there. So that was a good gig. You know, we got.
The guys?
Well, we were too good for them. Yeah, we met them at soundcheck and stuff like that, but I think they were going through that, didn't we were going through that period of decline, because Phil Lynott clearly wasn't well. They had Snowy White on guitar. And,
this was this line.
yeah, but it was like, you know.
But Phil Lynott was the actual only guy that came backstage and said, "Hey guys, great set."
Really?
Yeah, all the
that's
others
cool.
were a little bit kind of up their own anyway. So, so no, a lot of respect for Phil Lynott. He respected it. So, but it was a good gig. It was a good gig, you know.
The most prestigious gig was playing the Marquee Club in London.
And you played in the Marquee?
Yeah.
Great.
And Lenny bought a copy of the album, Dead in the Nursery, asked us to sign it, and then he took us to a club afterwards. We can't remember much after that. But yeah, because Lenny always used to hang out at the Marquee Club, so that was a good night. I seem to remember Rock Goddess or something were in the club.
Elements of UFO and Girl at the time. I think Phil Collin was in there, and there was White Snake members and stuff like that at that time. Yeah, it was, from what we remember, I think we were a bit in awe.
Was basically our farewell concert.
The sad thing for you financially is that Metallica did a cover version of you.
No, they haven't done a cover version of anything. And this is on the record, and if he wants to sue me, he can do. Lars Ulrich taped our first album, all right, and circulated it to all his mates. So if you're listening, Lars, where's my royalties? I've got a copy of the CD. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, of the cassette tape. I've got a photograph of the cassette tape. And all his mates say, yeah, Lars sent that to me.
We're just being called for our signings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to do a signing session now. Yeah. I see you have even your own bags. I'm totally impressed now. Okay, thanks guys for this interview.
Thank you
it
very
was
much.
a pleasure for me. It was a dream come true for me to see you live.
Thanks.
You made a great job, by the way. I thought I said it before. Thank you, man. And
It's English humour. Right, you ready?
oh. Yeah, we're here at the Keep It True Festival 2013. We have a US metal legend here. Please introduce yourself.
Joe Camo from Liege Lord.
I think it was a long time, or was it the first time you played ever in Germany with Liege Lord?
In 2001, we played Wacken. It was supposed to be the whole band.
Yeah.
But Matt and Tony couldn't do the show. Something was just the timing wasn't right. So I did it with Paul Nelson and a bunch of friends of mine, Sebastian from Overkill, and a couple other guys. And so we just did one show. But we've been talking about putting the band back together and doing a new album, doing a bunch of touring, a bunch of shows. So this isn't just a one show. This is, but it is the first time with a lineup with Matt Vinci and Tony Truglio, who founded the band. Yeah. So Paul only came in on the second album. So this is really the definitive lineup. Two of the founding members and myself from Master Control, and then we got Danny Wacker and Frank Gilchrist to fill in guitar and drums. So this is the first time. It's pretty amazing. After all these years of doing the 3 albums and it being, I don't want to date the band, but it's since the Master Control album, it's been 25 years. Yeah. And now we're having fun. We're back together. We've all been playing music all along, but we wanted to do the Liege Lord thing and revisit our past and the history and the music of metal that we started with, and so we're having a good time.
And this was maybe the best festival you can play for the first show after all these years here. Did you enjoy yourself?
It was amazing. Yeah, the fans keep it true. That's the perfect title because the fans are true. Guys that are we met guys that are teachers now, or a guy that runs a school, a whole school district, doctors and different things, and construction workers, and they have kids, but they still have, the patches and the pins and and they love it. It's their life, It's amazing. It's really cool.
The scene in the USA is different?
No, there's pockets of that too, but not big groups of people that come together, and there's no festival exactly like this. Yeah. I think anywhere, and there's a market for it. So.
Oh yes. There's also a market for used records, and you started off with on Ironworks, you know, this strange label with all these shaped discs and stuff. Do you know how many copies they made of all this strange stuff?
There's only hundreds, I think, of each. You know, I've got a few. A few I actually had to buy off eBay because nobody in the band had them, and so. But you don't see that anymore. But now it's coming back. You know, the vinyl and. You know, when you grew up, I don't know if you're the same as me, you had an album in your hand. It was a big piece of artwork, and you felt like for $8 you had something, or €5 you had something. But now, and then you got used to the CD, but I think people are revisiting their past, and they want to feel that again, and it's cool.
Was Leechard the first band you were in, or were there any bands before?
A lot of smaller bands from where I lived, upstate New York. Just cover bands, and we started to do originals, but no, Liege Lord was the first professional signed band that I ever was in. Yeah.
So, I'm a little confused because there were so many lineup changes. What was the first one you were saying? You sang?
The first one I sang on was Master Control, which is the third and final album that the band did.
This was Metal Blade Records.
Yeah. And the second album was Metal Blade 2.
Yeah.
We're talking about, with Metal Blade, maybe about re-releasing all 3 albums in a box set before we do a new album, and touring with it, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Today was a perfect day it was fun.
Did you do any recordings after this album, or was the band split up after that?
No, it was timing. It was the market. It was money. Not that we're looking for so much money, but just to be able to make a living, and. It was hard, Metal Blade's a big, good label, but not a huge, The bands that really were able to keep going and exist were the bands that were bringing in millions of dollars, like Metallica and things like that, But as you can see, the reaction, we just walked off stage like 10 minutes ago. There's a hunger for what we did, and they still love the music. It's you feel it, man. It's great.
So Leechard is a proper band now, not just a reunion show for Keep It True?
Yeah, it's a proper band, new album. We're going to do a new album. We're having fun. We've been friends ever since. We always talked about maybe doing something again. The timing is right, and we're going to do it. So,
what can we expect from the new record?
We're going to stay true to our roots. Obviously, we're more mature now, a little older, but we still have the aggression. It hasn't gone away, and the hunger for that kind of music. So we're going to stay true to what we started with and bring in some modern sounds, but it's going to be Liege Lord, Master Control, a few steps ahead. I don't know. We'll see what happens when
I can't wait for that. So thank you for this interview, man. After this hard show, he's still sweating. You see it here. And he takes the time for us, so thank you for this.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Yeah, Keep It True 2013. We have October 13 here.
Yeah, you're 18 you're 18 days early. 13, well, you get 31's close enough.
Even everybody knows you. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, King Valley from October 13th, formerly October 31. But now, if you're watching us in a mirror, then it really is October 13th. October 31, King Valley, United States of America.
And don't worry, don't do another While Heaven Wept interview after we did, I think, 2 at least.
Right, yeah. Too many.
Talking to the dick.
No thanks. Jim Hunter from October 31.
Did I say 13?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're an idiot. We love you anyway.
Okay, I think I'm drunk.
You want to start over?
That's possible. No, we don't start again with that. Oh, this is Halloween in the USA, I think, huh?
Sure, yes.
Oh, now I understand your band name after all these years.
Good Lord.
The Keys people.
Now we just do something about that breath.
No, to be serious now.
Yeah, right.
No, we never are serious, I think, or we can't do that.
Sure, talking to the dick.
You are a musician, but you're also a die-hard...
You're telling more jokes again. Okay, go. I'm a die-hard. Yeah, I'm a die-hard.
You're also a die-hard heavy metal fan.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
How is it for you to be here and Keep It True?
Oh, it's fantastic. Everybody's cool as hell. I mean, people running around, you know, all the classic bands, you know, and fucking having lunch with Legend and, you know, back there Angel Witch, you know, tuning up. And everybody just so nice. It's so cool. It's just, it's what I live for. It's where the blood comes from, you know. It's what makes the heart beat. It's fun.
So who is responsible that you are such a big heavy metal fan these days? Your parents? Or?
You know what? Probably I would say where it all starts from would probably be my mom's sister.
Oh.
Because she got me into the Beatles when I was 4, which got me into Kiss when I was a little bit older, which got me into like all the stuff like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, you know, Plasmatics, and Judas Priest, and Saxon, and Motorhead, and the Ramones, and all that, which got me to the next level, which would be, you know how it went. You did the same thing. You get to the stuff like Slayer and Anthrax and all that shit, and then, you know, you go to the next level, Merciful Fate and Voivod, and next thing you know, you know it all. It gets heavier and heavier and faster, and then you know it all. You think you do at least.
And at one point we were at Cryptic Slaughter.
Hey, well, somewhere down the line we were. Money Talks and People Listen.
Money Talks and People Listen.
Fuck shit, I'm scared.
But with his band, he went back to the 70s.
Well, look at his beard. He is in the fucking.
Yeah.
He is 70.
I never left the 70s.
I
started in the 70s, and I never left.
70.
He's 70 years old.
Yeah. Today.
Unbelievable.
You know when he turned 70? On his birthday.
He's older than Quartz.
No, they're 73. Quartz is 73. You know what 73 is, right? It's a 69 with 4 fingers up your ass.
I always had a problem. You have October 31. No, I never had a problem.
What? No problems with 4 fingers?
Then you had...
You are European.
You booked yourself to Keep It True.
Yeah, we booked ourselves. It hurt like a motherfucker. Oh, we love you, Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. Where's Laurel and Hardy? I love you, Ollie.
You booked yourself 2 times in a row here at Keep It True Festival.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here. It's cheaper.
So, didn't you want to form some more bands?
Yeah,
play here?
Yeah, we'll keep doing it. Yeah, we'll be here. There's a lot of fucking open dates in the calendar. Memorial Day, I'll be back next year as Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Yeah, we could come as that or Easter.
So, what is the difference for you between Deceased and October 31?
Deceased is crazy as fuck, and this is crazy as shit. There's a big difference between fucking shit. One starts with an F, one starts with an S. No, Deceased is more. It's more about the speed and the heaviness, and October 31 is just traditional heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, traditional arranged kind of stuff, 4-minute kind of tunes.
Yeah.
You know, we sing a little bit more, or I attempt to. And Deceased is more growly. We've been doing Deceased 29 years, and we've been doing
29 years.
29 years with October. Deceased is it's pretty much late 80. I went through some old shit and found 84.
Oh, really?
You know, when we were actually called Deceased.
Yeah.
So there actually is, and here's 2013, and October 31's been around for 18 years now.
Okay.
So, you know, it's like, October 31 is actually catching up.
So
I don't know how that's possible.
You were a fan before you knew him? Of his music?
Yeah. I knew Deceased before I met him.
Yeah, he was always trying. There was this girl Liz in America. She was real hot, redhead, nice twat, and tits. And he was trying to get in her pants. And he kind of knew me then, didn't you? Yeah. We love you, Liz. That's a long time ago. Now we're older and bald, and you know. Well, speaking of bald, back to Liz again.
Hair, man.
We don't give a fuck. It's not about the hair. It's about the metal. But go ahead. I'll shut up, Jim. Enough snatch talk.
I guess you are a collector of old heavy metal records, vinyls.
Absolutely. Yeah, vinyls.
So, can you say how much do you have at home?
Vinyls. I probably got still. Probably about 9,000 records on vinyl, and I got about 5,000 CDs.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I got. I mean, I know it's never going to have it all.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you can try and try, but now it's impossible. There's so much, and it's come back so hard, which it never should have went away, but it has come back, and there's so much repeats now, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, more than anything collecting, I just cherish it in my heart.
Yeah.
I love playing what I play. I still, most of my records I play are still a lot of the same old classics. You know, I'm still stuck on Y&T, Mean Streak, or I'm still stuck on Riot, Restless Breed, or Strung on with the Law.
You like Restless Breed?
I love it.
thank you.
I'm a Rhett Forster.
Oh, thank you.
fanatic.
I'm a Rhett.
I love you. Rest in peace, Rhett. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you for this because
No, thank
everybody
you. No,
tells.
thank you.
Everybody tells about Narita or.
Yeah, Guy Burns is
Nobody
great.
tells about.
Yeah, but Rhett was special. He's one of my favorite singers. It's a shame he died early. But we loved you, Rhett. We still do.
Yeah.
God damn it, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. That's an inside joke.
You look confused a little.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm 70 years old. I'm a little senile.
It's Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw. Go ahead, hit her. Use the sledge. Gun's no good. You gotta use the sledge.
But he needs to know it because his brother plays in While Heaven Wept, you know?
Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, yeah, his brother's 65.
Yeah, he's the young one in the film.
Yeah, he's the young one.
Imagine you would need to give away all your records and there's just one you could keep.
Oh,
Which
ever?
one was it?
I couldn't do that. I'd have to melt a few together. I'd have to get like a couple songs off something.
Okay, let's say 10.
Oh, some of my favorite albums ever that I love a lot. I love Voivod Killing Technology is one of my all-time favorites. I love Uriah Heep Abominog album. I'm a big fan of that one. Michael,
really? This one?
Yes, I love it. It's a perfect blend of pop, rock. It's got everything I like about shit. Michael Schenker Group, second album, MSG. I love that one a lot. Yes, we fucking love that. Triumph, fucking Never Surrender. I'm a big fan of that record. Show No Mercy Slayer, the first Slayer, is fantastic. Merciful Fate EP, the very first one, is fantastic. A few more. Raven Wiped Out, Anvil, Metal on Metal. These are some of my favorite records ever. Rock Goddess, Hell Hath No Fury. I'm a fanatic for Rock Goddess. Please, Jody. Please, Julie. Please, Tracy.
Play for him.
Play next year.
Play
please.
for him.
I love you so much. I'm such a Rock Goddess fan. You're going to make me cry.
He even would fuck you for free. You would.
Oh, you're blue. There goes their dad is their manager.
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. But no, please, Rock Goddess is a great band. You know, that's just something else I love. And so, you know, there's a lot of great records, but I can't really. I have to have them all.
I know it's a hard question. It's mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Look, this is your
so
fan club.
Talking about October, not 13, but 31.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Shoot.
Will there be a new album soon?
Absolutely. Bury the hatchet.
Bury the hatchet.
Bury the fucking hatchet in your grandma's face. Take her cookies. Fucking burn her fucking Liberace and Bing Crosby record collections.
Yeah.
And bury the hatchet on Hill's Headbangers Records.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Both October 31 and Deceased are both signed to Hill's Headbangers.
Really?
Yes.
These are the guys who brought out Witch Cross, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. They did fantastic.
Cool, man.
They're great people. I mean, I love Hill's Headbangers. I'm happy that we're doing something, you know, like again, 29 years and it's 18 years for October, and you know, it's still in demand. So that's fucking cool.
So what do you think about modern production and trigger drums and Pro Tools?
It's just not correct. It's too clicky clack, clacky click.
Clacky click.
Yeah, it just don't work. You know, we like the old albums. I like the way Killing Technology sounds. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like the way Rush Moving Pictures sounds. You know,
that's
perfect, good stuff. If you're going to go for high props, you know, production back in the day, that's a good sounding record. You know, for something like that. But I don't know. It don't work. It's too easy now. It's too easy. Shut up and play your shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you also have some problems with some recent classic metal bands producing records with all this Pro Tools stuff?
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same. Some of these bands that come back and do what I call rent records, where they just get back together to pay their rent, you know? I don't like that, you know? I don't like that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with people, but you hear like classic bands and you're like, you should have stayed gone. Don't ruin the legacy, guys. Even before you get to the new modern production, don't ruin your legacy. Don't do it. Just stay gone. It's not good. And I'm talking to you, Witchfinder General. I really am.
Oh, yeah.
It's awful. It's absolutely fucking awful. And no offense to them guys, because I'm sure they're nice guys and all, but it's just not right. It doesn't sound right. It makes me sick bad.
Husky boy, Dave, how you doing?
We love you.
You know,
legend. Why don't you film me?
Why don't you film us, man?
That's my man. That's the hidden gem right there.
I still want a bag from you. A bag, you know.
Look, why don't you buy me?
I need a bag, really.
I'll get you a bag.
I won't leave.
Legend. We love them.
I got another confession to make.
Oh, what's that? Unbelievable. So, do you also play in the Keys or just in October 31?
Just October 31.
I don't even play in the Keys.
Did I pronounce it wrong again?
This is not the Keys.
What do you say?
The Keys, man.
The Keys.
Who's got the Keys? Deceased.
Really, with the
yes. Yes, disease.
Okay.
Disease.
Do you have a total different lineup in DC?
Yes. Yes. No band. Nobody needs their band over crosses except
Yeah?
me. Yeah.
You play drums in
I'm
one of
big.
the bands?
I write all the drums for October, and I write all the drums for Deceased. I don't play live for either anymore. Deceased had played drums and sang for 20 years.
But you would look like Exciter when you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we try. We used to cover Violence and Force.
Can you sing Violence and Force?
You want to do it with us?
Yeah.
Come on. Wait. Violence and Force. Take it good. Violence and Force. All right, Jim, you're at the second verse. Living and fearing the trenches from the front. Is that good? Now you're up.
My English is not so good, but I like Exciter.
Stand up for Exciter.
But I can do drum, diggy,
Hey, you're pretty good at that. Yeah. Holy shit. Well, what did you get for Christmas, Santa? All right, what else? Okay, what else you want to talk about?
I want to ask him if we can expect a new Wild Heaven rap record one day.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're working on it.
It's 70s. Long songs.
Little shorter songs this time.
You told me it was thrash. Tom said it was thrash.
So what shall we sing together now?
Let's do one more for the road. Let's do some Holocaust. What do you come sing too?
He's the triangle player from.
We sing Heavy Metal Mania together, okay?
Inside the
Power cage
I can feel the music
of my age.
Paranoid.
First degree that I'm not free.
I got heavy metal music in my blood. I like to give it to you if I could. Wow!
Great.
Okay, Jim. I'm not holding the microphone anymore. You be good.
Thank you.
This has been Interview with.
This was I don't know what we did right now.
We did nothing. We will. And his Final Frontier shirt is broken.
I would say this was really perfect.
It was great. I think it was.
And we will go on next year when you play with the Keys.
Yeah, the Keys. The Cease. The Cease.
The Cease.
There you go. There you go. Da Cease.
Da Cease.
There you go.
Da Cease.
Bless you.
Yes, here at the Keep It True Festival 2013, we have a, let's say thrash metal legend from Great Britain. Please introduce yourself.
My name's John.
My name's Andy.
And you're from Toranaga? Toranaga. I think the last time I saw you live was in Ludwigshafen in Germany when you played with Saxon. It was years ago.
It's a long, long time ago. We were supporting Saxon and Metal Church. Metal Church, I believe. Great tour, and as Germany always is, a great place to come and play. It was.
When I saw you back then, I thought, okay, now they make it. But after a while, you kind of disappeared from what happened back then. Because you had a successful LP out and record out, and
I think maybe we were a little bit of a victim of his own success in that we were very much an old school metal band, stroke thrash metal band, and just as we signed to a major deal, we had a major record. We were signed to Chrysalis. We were signed to.
Chrysalis, like
signed to
UFO.
Yeah, we were signed to them, and then the grunge thing came in almost immediately afterwards, and we were kind of we were just a little too late, and the usual band politics and trying to keep going. We were doing better relocating to Europe, better relocating to Germany, as it turns out, but we didn't, and so we were struggling thereafter.
Did you play in any bands before Toranaga?
Yes, I played in quite a few sort of local bands and tribute bands. A Thin Lizzy tribute band, as you can tell.
I noticed that on stage.
Yeah, and AC/DC ones, and that's where I met Andy. Andy was coming to watch my gigs, and I kept seeing this guy, this Thor lookalike at all the gigs, and and I knew of Toranaga because I wasn't there originally, and he approached me and said, "We're putting the band back together. I've been scouting for a new guitar player. Would you do it?"
Yeah.
And I just said straight away, "Yeah, absolutely." You know, and it's
that's how it's
that's it. I love it.
We always wanted, originally, both me and the singer were very much into, as a lot of British metal bands have two guitars. We were always very into having two guitarists. And I always liked the idea of having an out-and-out thrash metaler, if you like, who Shane provides that for this particular lineup. But also I like the old school rock stroke metal guitar players, which is what Johnny does, and he just fitted the bill perfectly. And I thought, we have got something here. We could get something. And of course, Johnny says that he'd heard of us, he'd loved it, he loved the band. He was like, whoa, yeah, I'm in.
I still think that your music is a mix of, on the one hand, the thrash thing, but all the old school heavy metal, what you talked about.
Yeah.
So the new wave of British heavy metal was something important for you?
Oh, for me personally, the new wave of British heavy metal, well, obviously it happened at a time when, and it's same for Mark and Steve in the band, we were, it happened when we were young kids, and there was old school, we didn't call it heavy metal too much in those days, it was all heavy rock. Sabbath and Judas Priest were probably the first heavy metal band, but we didn't make those distinctions. But then the new wave of British heavy metal started, and it was very definitive then. We had Iron Maiden, Angel Witch, who are playing today, Diamond Head, who were very much, and again going back to the Diamond Head, were heavy metal on one hand and heavy rock on another, and they kind of pitched between. They had a massive influence on us, and you can hear it on the first two Toranaga albums. As much as you could label it as thrash to some degree, there's a lot of new wave of British heavy metal influences in that music. Certainly from the bands like Diamond Head, and even obviously Sabbath, who were very influenced by Sabbath, who was obviously the first metal band. But bands like Budgie and bands like that who were a little off the wall and a little different, almost quirky if you like. But that's kind of English as well. It's a very English trait, and we kind of homed in on that. The thrash metal side of things was, it was like a resurgence of metal. It gave it a new injection of life, and we were like, so obviously we were very much attached to Self-Test that, if you like, and we realised that metal's back in again.
And it appeals, it's kind of a universal appeal to all the rock fans, whether you're on the lighter end or the heavy end. There's something in Toranaga for everybody. There is. Yeah, absolutely.
There is.
So would you agree when I say that you speeded up the new wave of British heavy metal?
Speed it? Yeah, you could say that, yeah. Certainly tonight you could say that. Yeah, I suppose in a way, obviously the thrash thing, there were, you say like your first Metallica albums and your Megadeth albums were very much, it was even branded speed metal. So there was certainly an element of that where you've something to aspire to, if you like, that kind of speed. But we also like to gauge that by a certain amount of speed and then pull it back again, so you know the difference. So you rather than just being straight down one, maybe a little bit
dynamics.
A bit of lighter shit. Dynamics is definitely the word. It is.
From the days when you played back then, I only know Onslaught maybe, that were a little faster, and a band called Blood Money. But there weren't so many thrash bands, or let's say speed metal bands, if you don't call Raven a speed metal band. So was there some American influence from Metallica and Slayer or stuff?
I think we'd be foolish to deny that there wasn't an American influence. American, it wasn't, because they were more like British metal bands than what British metal bands were being. They were like, we don't give a fuck. We're going to play what we want to play, and they did that, and everybody thought brilliant, and suddenly we thought, hang on, these guys are doing what for all intents and purposes, is what British metal bands invented in the first place. So fair play to them. Fair play to them. They kind of retaught all the British metal bands what to do. So, but I think there was. You mentioned Onslaught there, who were, you know, a fantastic, probably at the pinnacle of the British metal movement. But also, you didn't. For me, Sabat. Who were very speed metal in a lot of ways, but they're also very English. They had again, it's going back to that quirky English metal. They had a definitive sound that you couldn't say, oh, they were influenced by American metal bands, because they weren't. Obviously, you could compare the speed things to them, but they weren't influenced by. They had a very. Obviously, we went on tour with them, and they were mates of ours and all that sort of thing. But we took a lot of inspiration from them guys as well. You know, they were the forefront of the movement, and we thought, bloody hell, these guys are right. You know, we are right in doing what we are doing, and followed on from them guys.
And we are really happy that Dive Bomb Records, I think they're from the USA, brought out your album again, though. Well, did you receive any response after this?
Nobody happier than us about that.
Really?
No. Dive Bomb are doing what all independent labels should do, and that's promote the music for the sake of the music to the fans that want to listen to the music. That's what they do. There's nothing. It's like there's not a commercial side to things. Obviously there is, from their point of view, they've got to do to keep going. But the forefront of it all is these albums should be available to people, and they're not anymore.
I paid, I think, €40 for your album on CD.
Yeah, and these fuckers release it again. And you get, we apologise for that. We did not know. But the thing is, that's what generates that kind of thing. If people are prepared to pay, and I hate to say this, but they're prepared to pay more than what it's worth, if you like. It's ridiculous money to pay for an album. You're only paying that money because it's not available. Dive Bomb step in and go, hang on a minute, lots of people want to buy this album, but they haven't got that money to pay. They can't afford to pay that kind of money. They can't afford it. We will reissue the album. We'll bung a few bonus tracks on, makes it more attractive, and we'll price it where every metal fan, irrespective if he's 16 years old or 46 years old, he can afford to buy it.
You were involved with the process of this writing?
He was in contact with me, and he said to the band, what do you think? And we were like, well, the album's not in the shops anymore. This is a great idea. It's a great idea. A fair play to it, lad. He contacted all the right people. He got a fantastic package together. He asked if we were fine with it, and we were like, well, you're going to go with it anyway. Go ahead. How can we object to you putting out an album that is not available to anybody? It's a no-brainer. Fantastic. He dealt with all that. He dealt with all that side of things. The recordings belong. He sorted all that out. He sorted that out.
And the bonus material found it somewhere on tapes.
Yeah. We found it in places. Yeah. I mean, the ridiculous thing now is with the modern technology, is that all that material is available online anyway.
Okay.
You can get it. You can get it online anyway.
You even find stuff you never knew before.
We find stuff that we didn't know we recorded. You know, you go, what? Hang on a minute. It's the way of the world. However, if somebody's prepared to collate that and put it into a package, that is, it's a proper CD, it's a proper album, it's a reissue of an album that is no longer available. Fair play to that record company. They are a genuine fan-based record label. We cannot argue with that. It's the antithesis of the major record labels.
Now we sit here in 2013. Unbelievable.
It is.
You may keep it through fast.
More so than you'll ever know.
It was obviously that you and the crowd had fun tonight.
Yeah.
So can we speak of a proper band? Can we expect some new material from you?
Absolutely. There's we've been working on a new album for the last couple of years, and it's that close now. It's finished. It's ready to go. We're talking weeks now, and it should be on general release.
Will it be on Dive also, or?
No, because Dive Bomb are primarily interested in only reissue material. So we and we've even been in negotiation. I've actually been in negotiation with Peaceful, who did our first album, but they're more primarily interested in reissue material. So, however, I can understand that the whole record industry is very, very different now to what it was 10, 20 years ago. It doesn't exist anymore, so it's no good as knocking on their door. It's not the same thing, and we are not, God bless her, we are not Adele. We are well. We are, no. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think she'll be more upset about that than me. However. It's not like that. It's not like that. As I say, our English sort of it is it's a very cottage industry now. Bands are doing it for the music, and if the new album is on our own label, then so be it. That's what, I mean, we are in negotiations. We are hoping to get some kind of deal, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But we have a full album of new material that we're so mega excited about, and we know. We're taking it to the next level. We do.
It's definitely going to stand up against anything.
Very happy.
Really proud.
We're buzzing. It's almost frustrating not to be able to go. This is what it is. It is.
So, if anybody wants to buy it, how can he get informed when it's away?
The usual routine of the internet. We have our own
websites. It's www.toranagauk.com.
Get it
if you can, and plus the usual Facebooks and etc. It's all there, and all the information will be on there as it happens.
And we will upload it to the usual digital sites as well that you can download.
There is actually, you can get a taster already. There is an EP we released last year. It's
3 tracks.
3 tracks and a video.
Yeah. For me?
We do. We do. Yeah. We'll get you one. We do.
We'll get that sort of here for you.
Yep. So there is a kind of taster on there. So and all the tracks are on it, but slightly slimmed down versions. But
we have an edited version of it, so
it's kind of bait. That's what it is.
We're winding you guys up.
What was the feeling for you after all these years to play on a big stage in front of 2,000 people? After the Saxon show I saw back then.
For me, it's like coming home. Coming home. It is. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like we just carried on where we left off. Where you can argue we were foolish, whatever happened. But to me, I was cautiously optimistic that a lot of people. I know we went down well, as you will remember. We went down well before on that Saxon tour. We did go down well, and we, for whatever happened, we should have carried on from that. We didn't, but we've come back. Obviously, thanks to Ollie and the Keep It True Festival, which is exactly what we're about in a lot of ways. But as soon as we started playing, a couple of numbers in, everybody thought, I remember these guys. I remember them. And it was exactly where we were. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back to Toranaga. Mel.
Old thrashers never die. They just get bigger beards.
Bigger and bigger and bigger. Bigger muscles than all, Johnny.